Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
We like T-Mobile. They call themselves the Un-carrier. They've got great plans, contract-free. But sometimes I feel like they don't have all the latest and greatest phones. We're always looking for a great T-Mobile phone. This is the LG Optimus. Now, this isn't the G2 Optimus.
It is not. This
Shannon
one
Morse
is
is here.
called the LG Optimus F6.
The F6.
Ooh, so pretty.
It's confusing, though, because
I know.
they're all called Optima.
They're all letters and numbers. It
Yeah.
gets very confusing very quick.
This is more mid-range than the G2.
This is a mid-range phone. It's a you can kind of tell from the plastic back on it and
kinda
the plastic
thick.
front. It's
Yeah.
very small. It's not as big as some of
Do
the
you have rodents glued to your hand?
I might have hamsters on my hands.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Maybe. Just
Nice.
maybe.
Is
That's
that
my
Festivus? Festivus thing? Okay. Is that a thing? Gluing things to your hand?
That's my festivity for today.
Okay. Just
My
checking.
nails don't look good, so I put these on
Look
here
at
instead.
those.
Here, look at these.
Yes,
Don't
she
look
has
at my
presents on her.
That's
on her
definitely a
hands.
buy right there.
It's a buy. No. So the LG Optimus F6, this is a $288 phone, but you
that's
can
very
also
cheap.
get it. Yeah, it's very cheap.
That's out the door.
That's out
off
the
contract.
door, so
Okay.
off contract. But if you do want to get in on contract, it's free for a 2-year contract.
All right.
So totally good price. It's an interesting phone in the fact that it is a little bit smaller. It's still on Jelly Bean, and it has a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz CPU on the inside. Of course, it has all of the nice capabilities like LTE, Bluetooth, NFC. It comes with 1 gig of RAM, and it has a pretty decent processor in it. I didn't notice a lot of issues with that whenever I was switching around with apps and things like that. But it does have 4 gigs of onboard memory.
What?
Although, when you go into the settings,
How can you even
I have
use
to show
4
you
gigs? Don't your apps just fill it right up?
yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you go into the settings, total space, 1.27 gigs.
Oh man.
1.27.
Okay,
That's
so this is
all
for
you
people who
have
don't
left.
install a lot of apps or
Isn't
want to
that
put
crazy?
music on there. Yeah,
I know.
that's not much.
Now, if you wanted to expand it, it does on the back, and you can take off the back, which is nice. So you can change out the battery if you need to. It has a nice lithium-ion battery back here, and you can also do up to 32 gigs of extra storage on a little micro SD card if you wanted to. The battery right here lasts a good 19 hours for talk time. So
Wow.
really, really good battery.
19
I was
hours
actually-
talk time?
I was very impressed with
You'd
the
have to
battery.
be a chatty Cathy to use that.
Oh,
up.
I know, right? So I got pretty close to that when I was just, doing a lot of browsing, playing on video games and playing on Facebook and stuff like that. So I can definitely attest to that nice battery
Good deal.
on this guy. Call quality is pretty average for T-Mobile. Not too bad at all. I didn't get any drops. You can do Wi-Fi calling, which is pretty cool. That's pretty new and interesting with T-Mobile. The camera on this is a little bit different, though. So there is a front camera. There's also a back camera, and the back one has a flash, of course. And I'll show you a couple of photos that I took on here previously. Let me get back to my main page. There's my camera. So I took a couple of pictures. So this is the front cam. It's okay. It's very grainy.
Turned you into a
1
anime
megapixels.
character, which I think is
Yeah, so I'm an
kinda-
anime
Is that the
character.
anime
Surprise.
filter? Yeah.
Surprise.
Your eyes, are they that big?
See
Really?
that? Yeah.
Wow.
Galaxy eyes.
Sorry,
Wow.
guys. 1 megapixel front cam. The back camera on this is 5 megapixels. So I took a couple of photos. You can tell even in
Look, you turned him into
decent
Pikachu.
lighting,
That's great.
even in decent lighting, it gets very grainy. It's very low
Yeah,
light. And at 5 megapixels, honestly, it's a pretty bad camera.
Yeah.
So I can't attest to that. It's not that great. I did take some videos on this. They say it can do 720p video. And the speakers on this are pretty tinny as well. So I'm going to hold this up to my microphone so you can hear it.
What are you doing?
It's very tinny.
Editing what?
Dogecoins.
You're working?
Don't look. Oh god.
Victor, what are you doing?
Very tinny. Yeah. It even sounds like it's trying really hard whenever you're listening to the
It almost
speaker.
sounds like it was breaking up. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So the speakers are not that great, although it does get very loud. The display on this is only 4.5 inches, so it is nice if you have smaller hands, like if you're a kid or something like that, or a young person. Definitely really nice if you need a smaller phone. It has a 960 by 540 pixel display, and it's really lightweight. I was actually impressed by that. It's less than 5 ounces. So you could just you could toss it at somebody and they probably wouldn't feel it because it's like a feather. So my pros and cons on this, I'll go ahead and get into those. Great battery life on it. I really like the battery life, and it's low cost. I mean, you can get it for free on T-Mobile, so that's pretty cool. On the con side, though, really, really low internal memory. So honestly, if you're going to download like any applications at all, or you're going to take any pictures, you should probably have a micro SD card if you really, really want to use it. You also notice that it does have a pretty cluttered skin as far as, going into the settings and things like that. It has that LG skin all over the place. So it's not that noticeable on the main page, but it is when you start getting into some of the applications and whatnot. So it's kind of, I don't like the skin. And it does have that tinny speaker. I'm not a big fan of that either. So I gave it a
mid-range phone.
It's mid-range.
Yeah.
I would say if you need a second phone, or if your phone breaks your normal one, this would be a good idea to have on the back end if you need an extra phone around. Or
what do you
if you're
think
a
of
child.
LG's customizations to Android? Are they okay? Is it?
They're okay. I mean, they don't go nuts with a whole bunch of
Right.
bloatware, but at the same time, it's just. I like
It's not
stock
pure Android. Yeah.
I like stock Android. That's why I always buy the Nexus
Right.
phones, because those are so pretty
Right.
and they're good. They're fast. I would give this a don't buy. It's just, I don't know.
You can get a Moto G,
meh.
which is pretty close to a Moto X for
You
$100
can, yes.
bucks less.
Yes, that's true.
So
You
don't
can.
do it.
The Moto G is an excellent option.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yep, don't
All
buy.
right, don't buy on the LG Optimus F6.